Hello and welcome to another tutorial video, or let's call it inspirational video. Today I want to talk about how to get from taking good photos to taking great photos. And a little disclaimer right away, if you've just started with taking photos, then don't hunt for the few great photos. Get out there, take many photos, make mistakes, learn from those, and don't be too hard on yourself. And once you're taking good photos has become quite a routine for you, it's time to get to the next level. And this is what this video is going to be about. First of all, let's talk about what are great photos. This is largely subjective and it might mean something different for you than what it means for me. For me, great photos are the ones that I enjoy even after many years. Those are the ones that I would put into a calendar, the ones I would print large and hang on the walls of my apartment, the ones I'm most proud of because I feel I took the best possible photo I could at a location. But how do we do that? Or at least, how do we increase the chances of getting a great photo instead of just a bunch of good ones? Whenever we're out taking photos, we have to find the one photo to which we want to fully commit ourselves, instead of trying to get as many photos as possible from a shoot. Such a bunch of photos we usually only feel good about for a short time, but eventually none of them would make it into the best of category of our portfolio. Here we are talking about great photos. And to achieve or to take such photos, we cannot spread ourselves thin during a photo shoot. We have to focus. And to achieve this, first thing we need to do is to explore and to scout. I have a different video about this and what to look out for during scouting. But planning and scouting is just the preparation for a potentially great photo. There are also a few things we have to keep in mind during the shoot, and we certainly also need some luck with the weather. Okay, so imagine you're at a location, you're fully set up, the composition which you scouted for. It's the best composition you could find, and it fully contains everything that this location is about for you. All you need now is the right light and you're fully committed to taking this one photo. Then the sky explodes in crazy colors, just not in the direction you have set up, the direction in which your photo is. You're tempted to start running around now looking for a composition in the other direction to quickly get a photo of that beautiful light. If you did a proper scouting, you'll either know where this composition is because you looked for alternatives, and this is usually a good idea. Not only search for compositions in one direction, basically look in every direction because you never know where the light will be best. Or it could also be the case that you just didn't find anything better. The main composition, the main photo, that's really the best you could find, and you decided that everything else is not worth it. And if this latter is the case, then stick with your primary photo. Don't run around, don't chase the light. This might be hard in the beginning, but with time you'll learn that most of the time it's not worth abandoning your main photo in such a case, even if the light never makes its way into that main composition. And this happens to me quite often, and there's still a feeling of regret at first, but always remember there are three essential pieces that make a great photo. And besides the right light, those are subject matter and composition. And if you didn't find those during the scouting, chances are you won't find those during the fleeting moments of great light. So better just lean back, enjoy the show, and hope that this great light will eventually make it into your composition. And if this happens, if you get that light into the composition, then you're set up to take a great photo. If it doesn't happen, at least you enjoyed some great light show and made some good memories for yourself. Now to scenario number 2, where you found a composition in the direction where the light is now during scouting. The composition is not as good as the one you're set up for now, but it's a solid composition and you could reach it in time. Now this is a tough one to decide because during such crazy light shows, during sunrise or sunset, the color in the sky can travel quite quickly. Chances are that once we reach our other composition, the light there is gone and suddenly the primary composition would be in the right direction where the light is now. Imagine we also had to switch lenses to get our alternative composition. Now we race back and forth trying to catch the light. It gets hectic and yeah, with luck we get the photo. But we might just have screwed our chance to take a great photo of that primary composition. And yeah, here it's really hard to give a definite recipe on how to decide. You always have to weigh the pros and cons. So how much better is the composition you're currently camping at compared to the other composition which is in the direction of the light? Or is this composition or this photo you could get under the current conditions really worth it? Will it be a great photo? And yeah, this decision is not easy and it can be the wrong decision, but if you're not sure or if you're not convinced that you can get a great photo now in the other direction, you should maybe better wait it out and stick with your primary composition after all. And here it's also important to really own that decision, so not to get distracted too much. And yeah, this is very hard in the beginning. It was hard for me, it still is sometimes. But what I found is that as you take more and more photos and as your portfolio grows, you get more and more selective about the photos which make it into that portfolio anyways. We basically set the bar higher and higher, and yeah, now this might create some pressure at first if we don't reach the standard we set for ourselves for an extended period of time. It definitely happened to me, but it can also remove the pressure if we adopt the following mindset. If we do our best during scouting and exploration, if we're ready, if we're set up to shoot, then the rest is really up to Mother Nature, out of our hands. And yeah, we shouldn't feel pressure about something which we cannot influence. And yeah, this can feel quite liberating also. And surely there will be some disappointment at first. You've seen this in my vlog, surely. From time to time, at first there's disappointment if I get to a location again and again and never get the light. But I learned with time to let this pass quickly. Now to extend on this idea of doing the best you can to get a photo. If you have the chance during your travels, you should always plan in several visits to a location. And I want to show you an example from Portugal. So this photo here of Praia da Marinha is what I would call a great photo, at least for me it's one. It contains all the essential elements. So we have great light here, this magenta, red, orange sky with a very long exposure. It looks quite nice. Then the subject matter is also really good. The Algarve coast just spectacular, and particularly this beach is beautiful with this lonely sea stack here right in the middle, then some sea stacks to the side. Also the composition I found, I'm quite happy with it, having this here to this rock wall here on the side, then leading around this foreground to this rock wall, going all the way around kind of in a circle, so leading the viewer around through the photo and then having this focal point right in the middle, this lonely sea stack. So for me, that's just, yeah, it was just the perfect outcome that morning. But I didn't just show up there and took that photo. Prior to it, so we were like 7 days in that area, and I took this photo on the 6th morning. And when we arrived, we first did scouting. So we went to several coasts along the Algarve here, looked at the different coastlines, and in the end I found this coast, this Praia da Marinha, to be the most representative for the Algarve. So especially because of those crumbling sea stacks here, the dramatic cliffs, that's for me what the Algarve is about. And also we have a beach here. It was just a spectacular setting, and then I scouted there and found this viewpoint, did a few test shots and settled for such a composition here, which I then dedicated my time to get a photo in the best possible light in the week I was there. What did that mean? It meant I went there nearly every morning, 1 hour to 2 hours before sunrise, waiting for the light, which at first didn't happen. So here's, I think that was the first morning. It's a 200-second exposure I did maybe 1 hour before sunrise, and it looks quite nice with the reflected light, but it doesn't contain any detail which I need. It's all the light here, this orange light from the city. Soon after I finished this exposure, a thunderstorm rolled in from the side and I got drenched. There wasn't anything of taking photos anymore that morning. I waited, and yeah, it never stopped to rain, so I went back to our apartment defeated. And this happened once more the next morning. Then on the third morning, I got clear skies and I used it to take some long exposures. This one here is, I think it's 15 minutes and you see the star trails here. And I'm quite happy with this photo. It's not what I had envisioned for that place, but for me, that's a good photo. But it also wasn't the great photo I was after. And yeah, I could have stopped here now and next morning just went to other coastlines trying to get different photos, but I knew this location, this was the best I could find. I wanted to try a few times more to get also the best light I could get there. So I went back the next morning and I got this here. And yeah, this morning, this really had potential. There was this gap here at the horizon and I was hoping that those clouds would catch fire that morning, which unfortunately didn't happen. Then the next morning, it just rained, so I didn't take photos at all. And then we were already nearing the end of our trip. And yeah, I went back once more and then finally got what I wanted. So now I was in the perfect place at the perfect time and also got the perfect light for this place. I even let the camera in place a few minutes longer, I think half an hour later or so when the sun came up. It was in the perfect position to capture this photo. And so this morning I got two very good photos and yeah, all the work before. So first the scouting, the exploring, finding this one composition which for me best captures this place. Also this location which contains all what's the Algarve about. So this gave me all I needed to capture a great photo. And I'm also very glad that I went back there again and again and didn't just go to a different coast every morning. I really focused on this one photo and yeah, in the end it paid off. If the light hadn't come, okay, I wouldn't have gotten this photo, but also I wouldn't have gotten a great photo at another place. So it didn't matter for me. I was focused on my primary goal here, which was getting a great photo of Praia da Marinha. And yeah, I put in the work and this is what it's all about, I think. Surely there are exceptions. Some locations are just so good that you can take great photos in any direction. But still, you need to do exploration and scouting to find those compositions that work in those directions. If executed right, you can come away with not just one great photo, but with a bunch of them. I have a video about such a location, which I'll link in the description. And surely it sometimes even works out without scouting. Just showing up at the right location, at the right time, just being lucky and coming away with a great photo. But those occasions are rare. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please leave a thumbs up. Although I didn't give you a step-by-step guide to great photos or 7 tips for great photos, there are enough of those videos out there. And also, to finish this video, I want to give you a little recommendation for a book which I'm currently reading. It's called Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and I'll link this in the description below. And yeah, this book contains many principles which I think we could apply to our photography, and yeah, it's an interesting read. And maybe the most important principle, and also kind of what I was talking about now, is less but better. And with this, I leave you into a beautiful Sunday, hopefully. Bye, and till next time.